Hey heathens. This is actually a video that I've been meaning to do for quite some time. The whole thing started back, well, I had started my own meetup group of atheists, and well, it didn't really, I just really couldn't devote the time that I needed to it to make it successful. And so I handed it over to someone else who turned it into a Skeptics meetup, which was fine. Then I went to the Dragon Con in Atlanta, which I posted a video for. And there was a lot of different things that were posted there, and an entire room dedicated to skeptics. And it was great. They had all kind of stuff, creationism versus evolution, and paranormal activity, and everything else you can imagine in the world of skepticism. I noticed an overall theme, however, as I sat and I listened to the different things being talked about. They were talking about skepticism because they wanted to avoid the word atheism. And I understand that. I understand want to be inclusive. I have a video all about it, which I'm about to redo. Where we talk about being inclusive to everybody. Atheists, agnostics, even deists, other people who are just questionable about, religion and that sort of thing. I understand wanting to include many, many, many people into what you're trying to do. I understand that. I just don't like the word skeptic. Here's why. When you talk about being a skeptic, what does that mean? I'm skeptical of what? Exactly. A skeptic can be someone from both sides. Someone who believes in evolution is skeptical of creationism. Someone who believes in creationism is skeptical of evolution. You see the problem here. In fact, when we talk about skeptics and you try and form a skeptic group, what you're trying to do is create a group of people who are against the Bible, because that's what the majority of people, when you talk about the word skeptic, come into mind. But it could also mean people who are skeptical of paranormal activities, people who are skeptical of psychic and other powers that people perceive to exist. You also have people who are 9/11 truthers. They are skeptical of what is being told to them by the mainstream media. And again, as I already mentioned, the creationists are skeptical of evolution. So how much do we really want to put into this idea of being skeptics so that we include as many people as possible in the idea that we will draw in people who don't belong to our particular group, that aren't what we consider skeptics? I wrapped this up because I mentioned before the group that I started. I had a recent event with them, and a new guy joined. It was a great guy, really, really nice fella. But he had his own particular ideas that went against what everybody else at the table thought. And it was interesting because even though I also disagreed with him, it was bizarre to watch how everything that we were trying to do with a group of being skeptics against what we're being told in society did the same thing to that guy. Now, granted, he was entirely wrong, but sometimes it just goes too far. And that's why I don't like the term skeptic. I know, 5 minutes, and I really didn't say anything. But I just think it's important that we understand that when we try to open the term too far, we let people in that we don't want in. Anyway, don't take my word for it. Think for yourselves.